This is your host, Dylan Friedoff, and welcome back to another episode of Appian's Tip of the Week. This week, we're going to talk about dynamic tables and displaying them in emails. So to investigate this concept, the really nice thing about A-bang keys is it will give us all of the column heading values from any map, dictionary, CDT, or record type. This will allow us to dynamically interrogate the columns that we want to display. And this function goes back to 21.3. So to use the A-bang keys and create an HTML table that we will eventually use in an Appian email, we're going to create a rule expression. So if we look at this function, we're creating a textual output. We are physically creating the HTML that will then go into the email and then be rendered by the HTML engine inside the email client. One of the most important things to do is declare our variable as any type. That means whether it's map, CDT, dictionary, we can send it into this function and just be able to use it without any modification whatsoever. So we're taking and iterating through the rows of data that are being passed in. Case, we're just taking the first element. If we're not passing in at least one row of data, this will probably break, and we really should have some elegant fail mechanism where we build some HTML saying there's no data to display. However, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to take and interrogate that, and we're going to run through the keys and create a column header for each one of those keys. Once we finish with the column headers, then we'll start running through each row of the data individually. And inside each one of those rows, we'll once again use that A-bang keys to pull out index to the different elements within that. And then lastly, finish up with your HTML tag. So if we paste in just a simple dictionary, this, and let's change this to that, we can see from the raw that this gives us the HTML table that we're looking for. We can see it's a very simple HTML table. So now that we have our function that builds out the HTML table, let's go into the process model, go into the setup of send email node, and look at the code that we can use for running this. So if we call the HTML table and send it the data that's returned from a query of our customers, that will come back and give us within that email the content that you see before you. Now I'd like to get a little fancier. This is kind of mundane and not all that nice looking. So the final effect I want to add is a little pizzazz to the email. In this particular case, we add cascading style sheets right to the HTML itself, so it's nice and embedded. Is once we put it into the process model and execute it, we get a really nice formatting and a very pleasing email. I will include the low code for building out the function in the comments of this post. Thanks for watching.